Hi everyone. Hola. Hola a todos amigos. Estamos en un nuevo capítulo de Resin Talk después de un mes de espera. Hi, hi everyone. We took a small break from Resin Talk like for almost 2 months. Okay, that's on me. But now we're back and with none other than our friend DreadKeys over here. You can say hi, Dread. Oh wait, I think I'm muted. Give a second.
Oh hello, I wasn't sure if I was
Now you are.
muted.
That's me. That
Hello
was
everyone,
something.
bonjour, comment ça va?
You wanna do a small introduction on French and then you can do it in English?
Yeah, like the last time I did an interview, I got flamed by the French people for not speaking French. So bonjour, comment allez-vous? Mon accent n'est pas faux. Like my accent is not fake. I do actually speak French. So there will be that. Also, no face reveal, sadly. I still have no camera. We gotta keep the mystique going a little bit.
I try, guys. I try. No luck over here.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
One day, guys. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I failed you guys.
Is my mic low?
I can hear him fine. So let me know. I can put his volume up. Let me see.
I can put
Try?
the gain on mine. Hello.
Is it good?
I have no idea. We're gonna have to wait for the chat to answer.
Yes.
Sounds like he's.
So like he's yelling from
friends.
friends. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna put you up.
No,
Don't worry.
is it?
I got you. I can do it on Discord.
No, let's do this like this. I'm gonna bring the mic closer to me. It might be better. I don't know. Also, I am not from. I don't live in France, mec. I'm in Canada.
He's in
We
Canada.
we also speak French over there. No, I know you know. I'm just teasing.
It's good now. Okay.
It's good. All right. Amazing. Out of work. What up?
Hi everyone.
Oh, there's a
Hi,
lot of
hi,
people.
hi.
A lot of people already.
Yes, there's a lot of makers. There's also a lot of makers. Like, you know, make it like to watch other makers. Crazy, right?
They're all here to steal the trade secrets.
Yes. They're here to to appropriate your ideas, basically.
Dutch, hello. How's everybody?
How's everyone, boys?
All right, let's do this, shall we?
Shall we start already? I would say let's leave a couple of minutes for more people to come in. Hi, Dutch.
A lot
Hi,
of names that I already know.
Yes, that's good.
I'm doing pretty good, Dutch. How are you? It's not Monday, but Friday is also a pretty good day, no?
You like Mondays?
No, Dutch like Mondays.
Really?
Happy Mondays.
Weird.
I wouldn't say weird. Mondays
Really?
are not that bad. Mondays are not that bad.
It's just the start of the week, working again. I don't know, man. Seems pretty bad to me.
All right, so while we wait for to start this, just give me a minute. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
No problem. Oh god. Dutch. Assimilate. Bill's character. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh guys, I miss you so much. I miss doing Resin Talk in a while, honestly. It's been pretty long. That's why I'm a savage. Yeah, maybe that's why. Now we know. Have enough character, don't need anymore. Yes. I'm pretty sure running artisans and people complaining about not winning must make a nice enough character for you.
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, great. Okay. I will say one more minute and then we can start. So,
Sure thing.
Imagine winning. Actually true. Imagine actually winning in raffles. Imagine. Mech, if I don't win the red caps, Mech, please. You haven't, Mech. There, Mech, please. Mech, please. You know, you don't know this, but you know my favorite color, right? It's red. And you know, there's not a lot of makers who make actually red caps. Okay. So when makers make a red, I'm because I know it's not a very it's not a very popular color. I'm always hoping to win. So if I don't win, I'm gonna be very sad, very sad. Please don't do this, Make. Red?
Yes, I had muted myself.
Oh my god! Don't worry.
No, I'm no streamer. Like
it's okay. What's your favorite color, Red?
Favorite color?
Yes.
That's a intense way to start. I don't know. It's hard to say, honestly. Definitely not red, I would say.
What? Okay, guys, this interview is over.
It's too intense for me.
Okay,
although,
guys.
I don't know. I like purple. Purple is a nice color. I think I'm definitely part of the purple gang. Yeah. Purple is nice. I don't know, like I don't have like a specific color. At least like for stuff that are for me, it's more about like the sculpt, and at least for keycaps, it's more about like the sculpt and just like the overall look of the thing. Like the color doesn't really matter to me. I mean, if it's red and it's nice, like good, but I don't usually gravitate towards red.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
I feel kind of offended for you know.
I mean, like that's the beauty of the thing. No, it's all subjective. But I like blue. I like purple. I mean, I said I don't like red, but I just bought a maroon mode 65, so I guess that's sort of red.
I mean, yeah, maroon is a shade of red, so that's fine, right?
More on the like brownish.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, like there's I think burgundy. It's a very popular shade of red, and I hate burgundy so much. It's just like meh, you know. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just complaining about colors. Maroon is a wine. Well,
how did I get good at taking pictures recently?
Yes.
I mean,
you've been killing it.
I don't know, honestly. Like I think it's mostly the fact that I used to have like a very shitty setup. Like I would take all the pictures for my former sales, like in what's it called? The mini photo booth. It's like a little box with like shitty LEDs and like basically everything. Whoa, Mech, that's mean. That's mean.
Oh wow, Mech, are you okay?
All right, I'm gonna
Mech.
go, guys. This was
this is over.
Fun.
Of course, Mech. Of course, you're kidding. You're right.
No, man. Jokes aside, I like. It's kind of hard to say. I would say that Dutch probably is the first one that opened my eyes onto actually taking like proper keycap pictures. Like the pics he did for the Metropolis sale was really fucking sick. And then like from that point I was like, okay, like I can't go back to what I've been doing like until then. For some reason I was always trying to like make my Instagram feed basically like always be the exact same thing kind of thing. Like
really? I suck at making pictures. That's why I barely upload to Instagram. Like my pictures suck big balls. I'm sorry, guys. That's why I just don't put pictures out. One day I will learn.
But then I don't know. Like I watched a bunch of videos after that on like product photography and stuff. And then I mean like I'm also like looking a lot at other people's feed and like how they approach their pictures. And then recently, especially with copper, I I kind of went about it like I decided to like do the pictures like I would plate a dish. So I mean, probably people know already.
I'm gonna show it off so people.
But like I'm gonna say I used to be, because I'm not actively a chef anymore, even though technically, I mean, it was my career for like many years. So like I've done a lot of food photography like over the years, and the idea behind this picture was to basically like place everything like it would be like on a plate, like for food. Basically, that was like the idea, and it turned out pretty fucking sick, I think.
Yeah,
like
I agree. Are those? Do you have copper?
Huh?
Do you have the keycap set copper?
No, I don't. At work actually sent me 3 samples so that I could color match it properly, but they are not mine. I need to return these enter keys in the very near future. I almost bought a set though. I actually like this set. It's just I don't fucking know. Like I don't have a board to put it on. Like, to be honest, like I don't know. Maybe if I had like a gigantic keyboard collection,
you don't?
Like, no, I definitely don't. I have like, how many boards do I have? I have 2 on hands now, 2 that I'm waiting. I usually whenever I buy a new board, I sell the ones that I had previously. Like I try not to like.
You're not a hoarder.
Go too far down. When I got into this hobby, I would like. It was almost like a mental illness kind of thing. Like I would buy switches, like even though I had like every fucking switch, like enough to outfit a board, even though I had like 2 boards. And then at some point I was just like what's the point of all this? Like, why am I doing this? This makes no sense. So I've been holding back a lot on keyboard purchase since 2020, I would say.
I wish I was in your position. I can't. I'm like, oh, what if I buy this board? You know, what if I actually like it down the road? You know, and because I have to make content, right? So I have to buy content like keyboards, like I'm thinking a year ahead, basically. You know, because with all the delays, I'm like, so I have like some switches there that I will never use, but it's just sitting there on my desk. You know, just the way it is.
And I believe it or not, like I'm not actually like really new to the hobby. Like I'm new to the artisan scene, but I've been a Geek lurker since like 2017. So I've been around for quite a while. So I've seen the days of like 4 months turnover GMK keycap set.
Oof, good old
days. Right now it's kind of painful to join group buys. It's like I joined in on Metropolis. That was like
R1, I guess.
No, I skipped R1 actually.
Really?
I skipped R1. I don't know why, to be honest, because I've always liked that set, but I skipped R1. I guess I probably didn't have the money back then or something. And then there was not that many made. I think it was like maybe 1,000 set with extras. R1, maybe even less than that. But like,
I mean, some sets that are popular now barely sold the first time around.
I mean, like Olivia was like 200, barely made MOQ back like with R1, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of crazy. Like you tell that to people now, and they're like, "What?
How?
Like
how?
GMK Olivia didn't make it. Like almost didn't make it to MOQ. What is this?" I mean,
it's just the growth. It's crazy the growth that this community had in this hobby. It's nuts.
But yeah, so I bought R2. I bought R2 GMK Metropolis, and like I really want that set, but now I have to wait until like
2022, mid 2022.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like at this rate, like I don't know. It's okay. It's made to go on my Rukia, which is, I mean, at this point, it's not here yet. Let's just put it this way. Yeah. So I have time, and I bought the Mold 65 to put my Modern Dolch round 2 that's coming hopefully soon-ish. So we'll see. But yeah.
I get that, honestly. Okay.
Yeah, I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. I don't even
No,
remember what
it's
was
it's
the
fine.
original question anymore.
Me neither. Don't worry about it. Oh, I asked you about colors, and somehow we end up in
Oh yeah,
keywords.
colors, and then we ended up talking about food, and then we ended up talking about keycap set.
Keywords, yeah. Keycap sets. So,
Yeah, attention
so
deficit
okay.
disorder.
So
we do
if
that.
you're talking about keywords, what was the first keyword that you bought? Like a first mechanical keyword. It's okay if it wasn't like custom, right?
I mean, first mechanical keyboard that I bought, like, I mean, I've had like mechanical keyboards for quite a while, like way before I was like actually like into like the custom
Into the hobby.
custom scene. So I think my first mechanical keyboard was probably I think it was a Black Widow TKL tournament edition. Like the old version that didn't even have like RGB and shit. Like back then, like RGB wasn't a thing. Like you only had like the little glowing like green Razer logo. So I've had that board for a while.
And then what was your first mechanical custom one?
My first custom was probably like everyone here was a Tofu.
Okay. Everyone started with a Tofu. I have.
I mean, like I think it's a good board. Like
yeah, I agree.
For what you pay, I still have mine. I call it my beater board. Every time I say that, people get upset at me, but it's because like, well, it's because when I make keycaps at my main desk, so I don't really want to have my 7V sitting on my desk when I'm like splashing resin all over the fucking place. So I have my Tofu, which is, I mean, it's okay. It's still in good condition.
You know what I do? The S7B
people
came with
wouldn't
a
be-
small with this thingy. So I just put this thing on top of the 7B, and then I'm start casting.
Yeah, I just move it. I do not trust myself. I'm like the clumsiest person ever. Like I think every time I cast, I spill at least.
I mean, you're casting
one cup of resin.
I mean,
like easy every time, like all over the fucking place.
Oh,
like God. Even when I actively put them, it's funny. I was talking about this with some people on Discord earlier today. Like even when I like pay attention to put them out of my way, I still manage to knock them over. It's it's actually quite the feat, I would say, when you think about it. I can't even keep up with chat. Like how do you streamers do that? Like I've seen like questions like
it depends on the stream, honestly. It depends on the stream. Sometimes there's good days that there's a lot of people, sometimes it's a bit more slow, so you get used to it, right? So I think Kleptomaniac came here. He's from Germany.
Oh, yeah. I know Klepto.
He's crazy.
It's been a while since I've talked to Kleptomaniac.
It's like I think like 2 a.m. over there, I think, or 3.
How's the dungeon building, Klepto? Let's wait and see. Oh.
Yeah. I always knew whenever he uses his hands as a chef, he gets unsafe for us. Yeah.
I love Klepto. I mean, Tex is here too.
That's Tex. Tex is pretty cool.
Tex is amazing.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. We all love Tex.
Yeah, definitely a great personality in the artisan community.
I think half of the people here are here for your accent. The French accent. Like Mac likes.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I would think it's more interesting than what I have to say, so I guess we can rely on the accent. No, I'm just missing.
Okay, so so you mentioned a bit that you were a chef before, right? Like how was it being like a chef transitioning into making artisans, right? Because I think the first post that I saw, at least on your Instagram, is like from 2020, right? How was it starting up?
Okay. So I worked in the kitchen for close to 16 years. So I'm 32. I started when I was really early. Typical cook. I don't even know what to say. Like a typical cook way of going about making this into your career. Like you start as a dishwasher, then you become a prep cook and everything, and then eventually, one summer I realized that I was more interested in like thinking about dishes and making food and everything than I was about my actual studies back then. In Quebec, we have this thing we call cégep, which is like I'm not entirely sure if there's an American equivalent to that, but it's basically like a pre-university. It's like 2 years that you do between high school and university, and it's like mandatory like preparatory classes. So like you'll usually like if you're going into like the science field, like you'll be doing like science and shit, that stuff. And then if you're going into humanities, you'll be focusing more on that and whatnot. So I was bored out of my mind doing that, and I love cooking. I love making stuff just in general, like no matter what the medium is, kind of thing. So I went to cooking school, and then I never looked back until like a couple years ago. And then so I'm a nerd. Like I'm not the typical chef. Like I don't know why like there's this like stigma that usually like chef are like cool people that like party and whatnot. And like while I've had my fair share of party over the years, I've been actually quite calm the last few years. But like in 2020 when COVID hit, basically like my entire industry was like turned upside down. So we went from the restaurant that I was working at back then. We had been open for 3 years. We were on our way to probably like the biggest year out of the 3. Like business was amazing. Reviews were good. Like people were coming in. We were more full every day. And then like next thing you know, like you're forced to close. At the beginning, they tell you it's 2 weeks. Then it's a month. Then it's 2 months, and then you're only allowed to open for takeout. And then next thing you know, in June, they let me go because I mean they couldn't afford to have me anymore. So after that, I had been looking into. So like I was saying, I've been in the keyboard hobby for a while, and it was in summer of 2019 actually the first time that I actually thought about making keycaps. So I was doing a road trip with my wife through Quebec. We're going into a place that's called Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. I highly doubt anybody watching here probably knows what the fuck I'm talking about, unless we have some French Canadians that I didn't see. But yeah. So while we were like driving around and stuff, one night I stumbled upon like the Glyph, so Glenn de Black, video for Artisan Alliance.
Yes.
And I was already like into like nightcap and stuff like that back then. I think the first times I actually entered nightcap raffles was it PS2 or PS3? I don't remember. Anyway, so I was like, I like to make stuff. Maybe I could do that. But then back then, you know, like you work in the kitchen, you work 60, 70 hours a week. You don't really have time to do anything really. So when COVID happened, I lost my job. I was looking for something to basically just occupy myself before I found something new, before I found another job basically. And I reached out to Glenn, and he helped me, like just told me like buy this, buy that, and then like I learned about the Zbot Discord, which is an amazing resource. Like there's,
yes.
I mean most people that I've met and that I still talk to this day, I've met through Zbot. So like WinKeys, Tex, Lucas from Key Craving.
Yes.
I mean, even in some sense, even though I when I first got into Zbot, I was not interacting with Mech. I definitely remember seeing Mech over there too. I think Captain Maniac actually was yeah. I mean, like there's so many people. I think there's like hundreds of makers on Zbot. But yeah, so 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 that's what happened. I started. So one day I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I need to find a pressure pot. And then I wasn't really confident in myself back then, like to convert like a cheaper pot into like a pressure chamber. I was like, I don't want to make like something explode in my apartment or something, like yada yada. Like now I don't. Now I really.
I mean,
don't
it's
care
a
anymore.
big, it's a big expense right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty right. It's pretty expensive.
Yes.
So it's like a big commitment. But I already had a nail gun because I do a lot of woodworking. So I had a nail gun and I had a compressor. So I just needed a pot. And then after my talk with Glenn, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna check on Kijiji, which is like Craigslist. I don't know. Maybe do you guys have Kijiji in the States, or is it just a Canada thing?
Probably. I honestly don't know. I have no idea.
It's like Craigslist basically. Okay. So like,
all right.
So I up on there and I'm like pressure pot, like blah blah blue. And then there was this guy, super funny. Like it was an old man that used to make like toys and like replicas of like movie props and stuff out of resin. He lived in Ottawa, which is like 2.5 hours away from where I live. And he had been trying to sell his smooth on pressure pot for like 4 months or something. So he wanted like $400 for it, and I offered him 250. I said, I'll give you 250 for it, and then like I'll drive. I was like, I'll drive tomorrow from Montreal to Ottawa to pick it up. And you said yes. So next day after work, drove because I had just gotten a job. I literally had just started. Sounds like Tex from Texas. Tex is younger though. He's not, like that guy was in his 60s. A super fun guy though. So I get there and everything, and he prepared everything, and he explains to me like, oh, you need this, you need that, blah blah blah. What do you want to do with it?
And you're like, I want to make the small things.
Yeah, I'm gonna make like little like pieces of plastics. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I showed him pictures and whatnot. So yeah, so I drove back with the pressure pot, and the rest was history. So I think the first raffle I've done was it in September or in October?
I can't. Okay, it was November. The purple one.
No,
because previous one.
Yeah, I removed one for the sake of consistency because I'm like that. But okay. I had like an initial colorway before I moved on to that design for Dread.
Okay.
But yeah, so that one, I think that one was in October. My first raffle. Although I consider what I call the Matrix drop to be my first like official, I would say, raffle kind of thing. And then you can see if you go through my feed, I've experimented with like different colors of backdrop and stuff, and all these pictures look so fucking boring.
I can't. Those are better than mine. That's something.
I mean, they're not bad. I'm hard on myself. Like that's one thing that I'm very good at is being hard on myself. But I do like I like to keep looking at my feed every now and then and see the progression.
He said, "Carl." Oh no.
Because not even in the pictures, but just in the keycap making. Like, I'm sure like most makers keep an archive. Like, I keep, at least I try to keep one of everything that I make, just to see, like the progress over the months. Because like, I remember when I did my second cell, the first monochrome that I did was the first time I was doing like the splatters on the internals and like the two tiers, like a two-tone like keycap, and I was like, this is so sick, blah blah blah. And I mean, I've gotten so much better at it now, but like I remember this was like such like an accomplishment for me back then. Because
I mean, we can talk about how do you come with the sculpt? Like, what was the thought process like when you were making it? Because it's like, a bit creepy, right? It's a bit chaotic, right? With the ice dropping.
Yeah. I didn't really have like a clear plan on what I wanted to do when I first sculpted when I when I first sculpted Dread. Like I knew that I'm not like an amazing sculptor. Like there are definitely way better sculptor than me in this community. Like way better than me. But I've always been good with colors in general. I would say mainly because I've painted like a lot of miniatures over the years. So in the beginning, I just wanted, and I'm a very big Nightcap fan.
Okay.
Like
Nightcaps.
Like the egg face was probably, and is probably still one of my favorite sculpt. Like I love the simplicity of it, and the fact that it just allows you to kind of go nuts on the colors, right? Because since there's so little distinctive features, and I mean like the Watcher, I would say is a very similar concept, right?
Yeah,
like,
the Watcher. I would say it's. I would say if you could compare the Watcher to yours. I think they're pretty close, like concept wise.
I was called Watcher V3 in the beginning.
Really?
So, like
these people.
Yeah. it's okay. Like I mean, it's in a way it's kind of a compliment for me. I'm not sure Ritual Master would have seen it that way, but like cool. Yeah, Watcher is fucking like Ritual Master. He's so good. Like his casting is crazy good.
It's very clean. That's why I like it. It's very clean.
His color work is amazing. I mean, it's kind of the same with Nightcap in a way. Like everything is all the colors, the marbling, everything is so clean. So while I was not like I was not really like like funny enough, like I actually didn't know about the Watcher until people actually mentioned that like my original version of Dread kind of looked similar to it. But like now looking at what he does, like his style is definitely inspiring, and I mean I think you can see through what I've been doing that Nightcap has probably inspired me the most.
Yes,
you know, like
I will agree with that. But like you mentioned a bit before, like the splatter on the back, right? Because that's not marbling, right? That's not marbling per se, right?
Well, so the splatter thing kind of became my trademark signature, in a way.
Yeah,
I would say. The splatter on the back was kind of a happy accident, because like in the beginning when I first got my custom internals, so Glenda Black designed the internals for me, and when I first got it, I wanted to make it super clean, you know, like and put like every color and everything. And it looked like shit. It looked so bad. I was like, this is not gonna work. I was like, I need to do something else. This is not doing it. So came the idea of like splattering.
Okay. So you just make every shot. You just put a drop in there, and then you continue doing shots till you're done, basically.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Exactly. So like. Doing my internals is quite like an involved process compared to most maker, I would think. Yeah. Because sometimes like my internals will have like 4, 5, 6 shots depending on the colorways. But yeah, so basically the idea is that every time I do a color on the main body of the cap, I'll do a splash on the butt.
The butt.
Basically. Like I don't always do it. So like as an example, for Altered Ego is not very good for splatters because the insert is so thin that if I have too much resin that pulls on the side of the butt mold, then it won't close properly. So those I usually avoid splattering too much. Same for Wormhole. Wormhole, like the tolerances between like the actual mold and some of the ridges is super tight. so I can't really go crazy with the butts. But like everything else, so like the new takeover and dread are those are like yeah, you can go nuts. There's like
for example, like the alter ego, right? It's 2 molds, right? For that one?
Yeah.
It's basically 2 molds, right? So
yeah, so
when it's go ahead.
Well, I mean, one is the regular dread mold, right? The glossy version, of that one. But like, and then the other one is do I have it? I'm not sure I have a picture on my Instagram of just the skull. I don't think I've ever posted it. But basically, the other one is it's like a mini keycap that fits inside of the main keycap, right? So it's basically like you're making 1 cap and a half. You do the insert, and then you encapsulate the insert into the main body the main body of the keycap. That creates like the depth effect and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Honestly, yes, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool effect.
It's more work as well, right? Because you have to wait for one to cure, and then you actually have to do the other.
Yeah, it's more work. Although it's not as bad as some of my other colorways. Like takeover is definitely a step above in casting difficulty.
I mean,
like it's it's
takeover. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't even come close to like to any of my other sculpts. But that was the idea too. Is when I commissioned that sculpt, that was the idea. The idea was to challenge myself. But like
so people can see it bigger.
Oh, that's true. I did send a picture to Square about. I have it next to me actually. I mean, I'll send you a picture on Discord, and then you can see what it looks like.
Let's say, like, in average, how much does time take you to make 1 takedown?
One takeover?
Yeah, takeover? Sorry, yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, I never do just one at a time.
Right. You do all of them, right? For the color?
No, I can't do all of them. Takeover, I'm currently hard stuck at making 5 at once. I'm hoping to be able to do more eventually, but with the current humidity, it's like impossible to cast more than 5 without it becoming like a giant mess.
Which resin do you use to cast for the small shots like this?
So my resin of predilection is 326.
Okay.
I like Smoothcast 326 a lot. 327. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know other makers have been having issues. I've been having issues with that too. But like 327 kind of tend to stick to my molds and like literally ribs them. So like you do have more work time, but it comes with a drawback, and I'd rather have less work time and not make mold as often. Right. Personally. Yes. But yeah, so 326 is what I use most of the time. And then I've only recently switched to Alumilite Clear for everything that is marbled. So every marbling that I do is with Alumilite Clear because it's thicker. So because if you marble with 326, it's kind of a tricky like temperature sweet spot that you need to aim for. And then once it gets there, you don't have a lot of time to work. So it kind of gave me too many like inconsistent results with my marbling. Like I would not necessarily get like the separation that I wanted and everything. So I had actually Alumilite Clear laying around from because I had bought that initially to do the clear layer
shots,
over
right?
over Alter Ego, but I ended up never actually using it. Just because I don't know, it's when you do like a fully clear thing, it's like super temperamental with like humidity and whatnot.
So it can go around very fast, basically.
Yeah. Right? So anyway, I had been using 326 for the clear shot too, but since it's thicker, you can kind of marble with it without having to wait. You're giving away all your secrets. Right. I mean, I give away all my secrets anyway. Like
I mean,
it's not like it's not like I have any secret.
I want to
like,
learn.
anybody that talks to me knows that I literally tell like everything I do. Like I'm an open book. I'm very much for I'm very much for having like I think that having better makers makes for just like in general a better and more professional hobby. So like
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
basically, I mean, it's the same way I see it in the kitchen, right? Like, so I was a chef, you know, like, you know, your sous chef is gonna one day is gonna fucking leave and start doing his things, right? Like that's just the way it is. You teach them because, first of all, having people under you that are better than you forces you to move forward yourself and to keep challenging yourself, or at least that's how I see it personally. And also just because like I don't believe into gatekeeping all that much. Like
I have
I do however like when, you know, like when people like sometimes I get like random like messages from makers, and like sadly I don't have time to answer every single one of them like really anymore. So I usually direct them to Zbot because I do think that to learn the basics, like Zbot is an amazing place.
I agree. There's a lot of resources and a lot of people are
Like,
ready to help. Yeah, I agree.
Last time
Big
I
famous
asked Ben about
makers,
his
right?
techniques. Have you tried making good caps?
Did someone clip that? Someone should have clipped
Yeah,
that.
that's true. I did say that.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Of course I didn't. I gave him all my secrets. No, like I mean, I don't really have a secret. Like people think sometimes people think way overthink everything. Honestly, like I've had questions about how I do my splatters, and then people are like, okay, so like, what do you have? Like, do you use like, something to like make it look all the same? I'm like, dude, I use like a fucking cheap pipette, and I just like splash all over the fucking place and make a mess. Like
you're hoping for the best, and then you just hope for the best.
I definitely do not overthink anything. Like my way of working is super janky, but I don't know. I like to experiment too. So there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily like, that don't necessarily make it to like a sale that I try out, but like usually I mean, if it's something that I do, I'll explain people how I do it. I mean, anyway, like, what difference does it make? Like, it doesn't make a single difference unless you're gonna like fucking start cloning my caps.
Right, then there's a problem.
And like, okay, like that's fucked. But like, I mean, why wouldn't you be able to like use a similar technique if it inspired people? Right. If it inspired people, I'm all for it. Like it's so good. Like
I agree.
I mean, that's pretty nice. And I think it's amazing that after so little time doing this, I actually, I mean, apparently inspire some people. So that's
illegally.
That's pretty neat too, I think.
I mean, I agree. Like, I know I have heard some people saying that there are artisan makers who are gatekeepers, but I honestly haven't come across with anyone. Maybe I don't know. I feel like everyone has been so nice. Like all the makers that have talked, like Tex, Captain Maniac, Winky, Mech. Every time I had a question about anything, they were like willing to help out, and I don't know, it's pretty nice. Honestly, everyone has been so nice overall. It's like a bubble, you know, like, you know, there's artisan bubble, and then there's the whole community, right? The whole mechanical community. So I think it's a very nice bubble that we have going on right now.
I mean, I definitely think that with the, at least, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, like, because obviously I'm not like in touch with every single maker, but most of the newer generations of makers are pretty open, like into like sharing their experimentations and like talking and just trying to get better as a collective and not as single individuals, which like in returns makes everybody looks better, right?
Yeah,
because if everybody's quality is better, then for the customer, it just looks like better. I mean, like I'm using the same freaking word, but like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Pro tip: don't dip your wiener in the can of Trudon. Yeah, I would most definitely
Are you sure?
not recommend. Although Tex might have tried, I don't know about that.
Why not?
But
I mean, he just want us to try it out. That's why he just gatekeeping on putting your PP on the smooth on.
I guess the B part probably wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't dip it into the catalyst. That's for sure.
Yeah, the catalyst.
But then again, don't go and do that and put this on me.
Guys,
B part isn't that bad. No,
please don't do it, guys. This is a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
just in case.
Yeah, it is a joke. Let's not. I mean, unless you want to have like no kids, then I don't know.
Okay, can
but
you?
Like, I mean,
how can you drive up the aftermarket if you share all your ideas like some filthy communist? Yeah, like it's a good topic. Like, what do you think of aftermarket? You know, like, how much do you think? I mean, it's not a nice topic to talk, right? But like, I'm pretty sure they take over.
I'm not dumb. Actually, I have no idea how much takeover is gonna go for.
I mean, you don't. I think it's pretty popular.
Treads gets quiet.
It's just
no, but I mean, like, I've heard stories of red rum going for like anywhere from 170 to like $300 for a single cap, which fucking like mind boggles me. But like basically, it's. I mean, the way I see it is that once it's out of my hand, like
you're just like.
I mean, like it's kind of like I would like my keycaps to go to forever homes, you know, like I would hope that the people that get into my cells actually want to fucking keep the thing. Yes. But I mean, there's not much I can do, right? Like if they want to resell it, and make money off my back, like I mean, like there's nothing I can do. It is. Right. It is what it is.
But here, yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like I don't check back market anymore. Like
do people flip invoices? Are people thirsty?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it actually happened to Archetype and me a couple months ago.
Really?
There was this guy who hadn't paid his fucking invoice that was trying to flip his winnings before even paying the fucking invoice. Needless to say, he got banned and the invoice got cancelled and re-rolled. Like, there are things that I will do. Like, if you like, if you try to flip your invoice before you pay it, like I will cancel it. Like, there's no like, I don't give a shit if you won the fucking roll. Like, man. I mean, like, the reality is that if he hadn't flipped it, he probably wouldn't have paid anyway. Is my guess.
Take.
But like, yeah. So these things don't fly. Like, but then after that, like we had like a heated debate on my Discord channel a month or so ago about that. Like, people saying that like known flippers should get banned and everything, and I'm like, I mean, no, not really. You know, like. Yeah.
I rarely afford to buy artisans, and I try to go buy a sculpt. So if I have a sculpt, if there's like a nice sculpt, I'm like, oh yeah, let me get that sculpt, right? And the only exception for me is like if it's red. If it's red and it's a sculpt that I already have, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I'm just following the rules, right? So I don't know. People are weird.
I mean, like, so it kind of like every now and then I get this weird question on my Discord where like people seem to forget that they are in my Discord, and they'll be like, how much do you think I should resell this thing for? And I'm like, dude, like, not gonna lie, you can go ask this in any freaking server that you want.
You go to mine,
but not mine. Like, how much should you resell it for? I mean, retail plus shipping, like what you fucking paid for. Like,
I mean, that's fair. I would say what you pay with shipping, and then plus shipping, right? That's
Yeah, I
fair.
mean, like, but then like when people go into like 2, 3, 4 time the price, first of all, it makes me feel super bad for like the actual customer that fucking wants the cap and
Right.
that needs to actually pay that much amount of money
But like
for it.
let's say like examples, like let's say like gaff caps, right? Like one cap goes for more than 1.5k, right? Like is
Yeah,
that
that's
like
like I
to
don't
that
get
point?
it.
Is it still like flipping, or it's just like a piece of art that you want to have, right? Like
Yeah.
when do you cross the line between, okay, this is just flipping and this is just, art that I want to have in my collection, right? Do you What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, at some point, the guy who's selling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a hard take. Like and that's why it's such a heated topic. I would say, as a maker, I mean, like obviously, if and like let's not kid ourselves. My keycaps are not very expensive. Like my takeover is 75 US, which realistically for if I was, I mean, if I had any sort of common sense, it would be more expensive than that. But I've built most of my brand on value. Like to me, it's very important that when you pay $55 to get a keycap from me, you feel like you've had
The worth value.
something good for your money. Like
Yes, best
$55,
value.
like it's a lot of money. Like I'm sure some people just that live in mansion and shit probably like, oh, $55, that's nothing.
That's
But
but I mean, people who live all outside
like,
the US,
for
like let's
like
say people international, right?
yeah, or I mean, like even for me, like I cannot go and splurge like $100 on a keycap like all the fucking time.
That's true.
So like, so when I started making caps, I always told myself that I would find a happy medium. Basically, is like the idea. So I try to keep my prices reasonable.
That's
and fair. I mean, most of my release are like $55. Is like probably, I mean, 80%. Like as an example, like the copper sale. If you go on my website, like takeover, like the EVA takeover was 95 Canadian, right?
Okay.
But like that one had so much work. But like the takeover for copper, like they're marble single shots, maybe 2 shots. Like they're much easier to make. So I'm pricing them 75. Like I'm not gonna charge 95 just because it's the new sculpt. Like I price, right? I could, but like I price my release my release are priced based on what, like the amount of time involved into like making it to some extent.
Okay.
Right? Like to me, selling like a single shot or a dual shot at $150 is like fucking nonsense.
Yes.
Like to me, it's flat out laughing at your customer base. Like, I mean, that's just me. So that's how I do my stuff. So I price based on release. Things that take more time, that are more involved, that are more difficult to cast, I will price higher up to a certain ceiling. And then things that are not super hard to make, I mean, I'm selling them cheaper. Like, so I always try to value is what I always aim for. So I think so far I've succeeded at that.
Yeah, I mean, but, I mean, I think how much is 95 Canadian dollars to US? Like 85?
It's 75.
Really?
Yeah. Is it?
I mean,
80?
I mean, that's good value. That's huge value. Like to me,
yeah,
like,
that's fine. I mean, yeah, it's 75. Like it's a flat 75, 63.
Damn.
I mean, like,
if only I won the invoice, right? If only, but that's okay.
yeah. Not gonna lie, it was a tough win.
Yeah, I mean, do you release numbers? Like, are you okay with giving out numbers? Like, how many people enter?
So I mean, it's kind of hard to say, right? I mean, it's not hard to say, and I don't have an issue like divulging my numbers. I'm definitely not pulling like thousands of entries, at least not yet. Maybe one day, who knows? But my numbers have been steadily increasing. I had been anywhere between like 150 to 190 entries for the past few months, and then EVA was close to 500.
Wow!
So that was. It was kind of a surreal experience, I would say.
I mean, that's huge, bro. Congrats.
Like, you know, like if you go back and like when was that? You know, like so I did the first cold cast I did Brast. That was 29 weeks ago. So I think it wasn't like in January probably. I had 11 entries for that.
Wow.
Like. So, to see the growth is it's kind of surreal. I mean,
congrats,
honestly,
man. I mean, you're putting in work. You're putting in work, and so then it's showing. It's showing,
I mean, like I always tell people the same thing, right? Like as long as I sell all my caps, I'm happy. Like I really don't care about how many entries I get. Like. If I sell them all, like that's enough, like in my book, personally. But yeah, like it's definitely heartwarming to see the support. That's for sure.
Yes, a sellout every week. It's good enough, right? For some makers. I mean, I would be happy if I'm able to do a successful run for whatever cap that I'm doing. Just entering, yes, stop entering raffles. Easy fix, boys.
Let's get you to 1K.
I'm pretty sure you'll get there eventually, like really fast. Honestly.
I mean, like I said, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Like
really. I think
because I make the exact same amount of caps.
Right.
Like, I have a very simple way of doing things. I make anywhere from 10 to 20 of a sculpt in the colorway, and I will most likely never go above 20, with some rare exceptions like the bakery
maybe Easter,
drop,
right?
Like the bakery drop, the coffee colorway was so simple that I think I made 24 of that one, although I don't remember. But like most of the time, 15 is like 15 usually the amount of caps that are in circulation.
Okay, that's
like
fair.
Some of them are a bit less, some of them are a bit more, like 18, 20. But like most of the time,
you just have to make good caps. This guy, it's kind of toxic today. I see. This guy. I mean,
I think every maker in here can probably like attest to that. But like, like every sale is like so nerve-wracking.
Yes.
Like every time I press like the post button
like,
on Reddit or something,
Instagram, like, or just finishing the form. Just finishing the form.
You're always like I don't know. There's like this anxiety, at least for me, like that just never goes away. Even though, I mean, realistically, lately I haven't really been like I haven't really needed to worry about, like not selling
all the caps,
all the caps. But like it's still there. I hope it stays there, because I mean that's one of the things, like that keeps you moving forward, not be complacent with what you do. Like I like to think that every new release I make is better than the one before. I'm sure most people probably don't agree with that, just because for like color preferences and whatnot.
Right,
like
colors are hard.
But like technically speaking, I think that like I think that I challenge myself every colorway that I make, and whenever I start doing the same thing too often, that's when you'll see me like mix it up. Like I mean, I don't know. Like for a while, I was doing like the angled. I was doing like the angled, tiered with like the splatters and whatnot. I was doing this. I was doing that a lot. So then I went back to just like the more typical like 2 layers kind of thing with Metropolis, and then I did the split with monochrome for the first time. That was a huge pain in the ass. And then for some reason, I decided to do it again with with Analog Dream because I'm a masochist and I like to be in pain. And then I just did it with marbling with the cold cast. So clearly, I enjoy not having fun.
It's just the stress because then what about like B-stock, right? Like, but how much B-stock do you have, or you're like first try, like easy? I'm pretty sure you have B-stocks, right?
Yeah, it really depends on the colorways, to be honest. Starry Night, I have a fuck ton of B-stock.
Really?
I have so many. Yeah. Well, I mean,
stuck. Good. Oh
like
no.
The problem with Starry Night was that my first prototypes were so good that I way underestimated
Making
like
many, right?
the actual difficulty that would be involved into making all of the marbling look similar to the pictures. So magnets will come one day. Like I'm starting to have enough B-stock to probably actually do a magnet sale for real. But like so I was like, okay, because like I think Starry Night was like $55. Like if I had known that I would have like a 60% failure rate, I would probably have priced it a bit higher.
That's a huge
but it is what it is. And yeah, so I have a truckload of those. And then I got better with the marbling on lavender. So lavender I have a little bit less B-stock.
Okay.
And then I mean, let's not even start with
what about I was about to like take over. That's gonna be crazy.
Like so I sold. So there's gonna be 20 takeovers in circulation.
Okay.
And not counting the giveaways. I have at least made 70 probably so far.
70.
Yeah, that were not. I mean, like I'm sure most people would be like, "Oh, that's good enough," but like
that's a lot of caps.
That's way too much, to be honest.
That's a lot.
But it's not. It's partly due to me learning the sculpt, and the humidity has been pretty bad up here lately. So that's been messing. That's been messing a lot with my. That's been messing a lot with my actual my yield, because I get like some weird bubbling and whatnot, and like it fucks up the features and stuff. So like, but yeah, like takeover is definitely takeover is gonna be quite a bit of B-stock, and probably, and like B-stock sometime, like for me, let's say on takeover, something that qualifies as a B-stock is that if one of the teeth is not white, it's going into the B-stock pile, right? So everything can be perfect, but if there's like a little speck of black on one of the teeth, it's going to the pile. So it gets redone.
Yeeted.
Yeah, I mean I don't yeet them, but like yeah, like you get the point.
Like for
so
like I'm sorry.
So I have a lot of caps that probably people are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
That's
like this cap is like fucking great, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. I'm pretty picky. Yeah.
I mean, like for example, for the takeover, I have to ask, like I know like some sculpts can make like the whole teeth. Like, do you make the whole teeth in one shot, or like you have to turn them over like to a certain degree to make it not spill, right?
Okay,
How does that
so
work on that one?
There's kind of two ways of doing it, right? The easiest way, at least for let's say for EVA, is to do the skull first, because the skull hides most of the teeth imperfection, right? So I do the skull first, and then once the skull is casted, then I can just fill like the teeth area,
Okay.
and it makes them all even.
Oh,
Kinda thing.
that's how you got them all even.
Yeah, because
Huh.
if you try to fill them one at a time, yeah, I'm dude like scuffed. Yeah, you have no idea how fucking how scuffed
You're kidding.
my casting is actually. I'm not even kidding. But like I said that on Dutch stream. I'm a pretty. I mean, I'm not lazy. Okay, yes, I'm lazy, but like no, I'm not lazy. But I like to find shortcuts because to me it makes no sense to like fill every single teeth one by one when I can do them all in one shot if I just think a little bit about like and I plan, you know. So that's the main thing that happened with, and it's probably part of why I have such a high failure rate for the EVA takeover is because it's like believe it or not, but like the prototypes that I had for the pictures for the sale were like the first time I've actually casted those like actual fucking caps. Like I had never actually tried really to do it before. I had attempted to cast takeover like maybe twice before I actually released it, just because I didn't have time. Okay, legit question: Do any of you talk to your molds? No,
I haven't.
I don't talk to my.
I
I do
haven't
not.
talked. I think that's the resin, mech. I think the resin is starting to affect you.
But yeah, so there was a lot of learning as to what I could get as with what I can do, like what I can get away with with takeover.
So then you do the eyes, you do the drops of the right, and the sculpt, and then you do the teeth, right? Man.
Yeah. So well, I mean, like let's say for EVA, I'll do the eyes, then I'll do the tears because they're a different colors. Like I could probably get away with doing the tears and the eyes in the same shot, but then it's easier to do it.
Right?
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. You can have bleeds, so it's easier to just do them separately. Then you do this. Then you do the red splatter. Then you do the skull.
Then and the skull you do the eye.
And the skull is done. The skull is done in two parts. So I do first I resin write the outline around the teeth, because if I fill the entire skull with resin, it's gonna go inside of the teeth. So what I do is that I resin write the outline of the teeth, I let it set, and then I fill the skull,
the rest,
and then I do the teeth, and then I do the body shot, basically. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7-shot process.
I mean, what about the tongue? The tongue, and there's a little.
I have tried telling the resin not to go in the teeth. I wish it worked. It would be much easier.
Hey, resin, please don't go in the teeth. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yeah,
I will see you in 3 hours. I will see you in an hour. Oh well.
Yeah. So takeover is tough. It's a rough one.
It's a rough one.
So, but it was fun to actually do it like in a more simple manner for the copper colorway. It just showed, because that was my fear when Pizza actually like initially showed me the
design,
the sculpt, because I was like, is this gonna look good if I do anything else, you know? Or am I always gonna have to like multi shot it, you know, for it to look good? And I'm pretty happy with how it actually turned out. Like all of the variations turned out really cool, even though like, you know, like the teeth are not specifically colored, the skull is not specifically colored, like they all look good. So I'm pretty happy with that.
I agree, it came out pretty good. I think Pizza help a lot on the sculpting, right? Because you need to make like define the lines very finely, not to make it smooth enough to go over, right? The sculpt, like to blend in, right? Basically.
Oh,
I don't know.
what? I
Like
missed the question.
like like the way that pizza is sculpted, right? That, like, for example, the teeth, right? Like he made it deep enough for it not to like to blend in.
Yeah, yeah. That's yes and no, not really. It's kind of, I've. It was definitely worst. The first
Like create barriers, yeah, create barriers, yeah.
the first iteration of the sculpt was definitely impossible to cast.
Okay.
The main issue with the teeth is the angle at which you're going, because the way the mouth is sculpted, basically the inside of the mold, like you can barely access the teeth. It's not like straight down where you can just like drop resin. They're at like a 90-degree angle, and the mouth opening is going over the opening of the teeth. So you have if you're gonna drop resin in them one by one, you need to go at an angle and drop resin at an angle. And I mean, I don't know if you try doing that, but like, it's a pain in the ass. It's doable, but it's a pain in the ass.
Can we get a masterclass on multi-shotting, like complex sculpts now? Man,
Yeah, I mean, like
that seems so complicated.
It's a lot of trial and errors. Like, I definitely do not recommend attempting something this complicated as a beginner. I sure would have quit if Takeover had been my first
Your first sculpt.
my first sculpt. I would have, yeah.
I mean, like, Takeover, Dread, sorry, Alter Ego, Dread, and Wormhole are ham sculpted, right?
No. Well, yes and no. So Takeover is 3D sculpted.
No,
right?
no.
Because
Alter
Pizza,
Ego, Dread, and Wormhole.
Yeah. Oh, and Wormhole. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those are hand sculpted by me with clay.
What's your opinion on like 3D sculpting now that, because this sculpting it's getting bigger, and I think before they're wearing a lot of, I mean, like the people who did like 3D was basically copy the design from all the website and they just put it on a cap and then call it a day and then just paint it and they were like, here's your artisan, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, so there's two different ways to see that question, right? Like,
Toxic
obviously,
3D caps.
I mean, like,
yes.
I mean, like, toxic streamer versus. I mean, like, obviously, my stance is probably very clear since I have both hand sculpted and 3D sculpted sculpt in my lineup. And to me, the important thing is that it's original and that it was like sculpted by someone. If it's done with clay, I mean, like, and like if anyone here has been around Zbot, if like people can attest that Pizza can fucking sculpt with anything. Like, he's a fucking madman with clay. He's so freaking good. Like, the 3D sculpting for him just makes him, I mean, he can make even more detailed. It's fucking crazy. Because like, I mean, like, the way I said it, why, if you're so talented, why would you limit yourself? Like, why would you limit yourself? Just for the, what I call the epine, like, what does it accomplish really? Art is art, whether it takes skills to 3D sculpt. I can't 3D sculpt for shit. Like, I tried, trust me. Like, I would personally never 3D sculpt, and it's not because I don't like approve of 3D sculpting. It's because I can't for the life of me figure out ZBrush. Like, I'd rather like poke my eyes with forks than like learning ZBrush. But I'll sculpt with clay because I don't know, like, it's more analog. Like, I control my hands, like, and everything. But like, that's a personal thing, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm on the same boat with you. Like, I like clay sculpting better. I like having things on my hand, and I'm like, I can physically, I don't have to be changing tools here and there. Like, oh yeah, do this shortcut for this and that. It's just like so much things to. And then you have Meg over here, like, who's like, I'm gonna do everything 3D. Fuck you guys, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Revit?
like the only thing with clay, right, is that you don't have like the Control Z. So if you
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
up,
If you fucked up, you fucked up forever, and then you're like, you
Uh.
cry basically. You're like, yep.
yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it kind of fucking sucks. That was the main reason in the beginning why I wanted
God.
to try 3D sculpting, and then and then I saw ZBrush and I was like, yeah, there's no way, there's no way I do that.
It's just a different skill set basically.
It's yeah, but I don't think there's a right or there's a wrong, unless I mean, no, there's no right or wrong. You know, like to me at some point it comes down to the same thing. It's like people that do hand painted cap versus resin casted caps. You know, like they're both hard, they're both like difficult in their own respective ways.
Right.
Like I think people don't realize how much
Unless you just
time
like this guy.
how much time it actually takes to probably like hand paint like fucking 20 keycaps that size, you know, with any sort of details. Like and like they, and they look down and they'll look down on people and painting, which I don't
mean,
understand why. Because
my problem, like, I have a problem with painting because there's people who actually paint and there's the not so good paint, and like, you can see like the grubbles, right? Like the small.
yeah, well, I mean, but then you can say the same thing about
sculpts,
casting,
right?
you know, like
Yeah, there's some good
you can
sculpts.
say the same thing about the casting. Like it doesn't matter whether.
Right.
I mean, like I take a perfectly painted, and I would take a perfectly hand painted keycap over a shitty casted resin cap. Like
that's
like, what's the point? Like if you'd see like some of my B suck, if I release that, people would be like, I was like, what? Like
Dread.
we're paying for this. Like,
I would pay for it.
like,
Just make it red. Just make it red. Easy.
No people wouldn't. Like that's like people say they would, but they'd be like
They might die.
They'd be like, hell no. No, he doesn't paint his caps. I mean, not that I'm
he
aware
doesn't.
of.
I mean, I think
but,
the
like,
first
a good
releases.
A good example is like Key Craving. Lucas' wife. She's an insane.
It's just so good.
Insane painter. She's
She's
so good. She's so good.
Kiss.
Like the painted Uruks are insane.
Those
like,
are one of my favorite. Like I'm gonna sing for Keep Craving. I'm not sure if he's still here, but it's just like
he's there.
The whole thing, like the packaging, like the whole like the website, the 3D printed cases that he makes. It's just like I'm in love with this work. It's just so good. Like every time that I get one of his, I'm like, and the boxes that he sent it, it's like very like well like packaged inside. It's just so good. I love it, Keep Craving. It's so good, man.
But yeah, no, she's like, I mean, like, yeah, like that's like a very good example of like really good and like and painted caps. And I mean, like, who is it? Is it Land Cap that also hand paint most of their keycaps? Land caps are pretty fucking good too. Like, there's so much details. I mean, like, what is it? Land Cap? Land Cap? Am I saying nonsense, chat? Like, help me out here.
Let me see. Land caps.
Like the Baron and everything. Land cap.
Land. I heard land for some reason.
I mean,
I think it's from
and Addo Works also and paint his caps. Like there are people that do good and like very good and painted cap, and there are some people that do shitty ones. Like and I mean like. It's just the same thing with resin. Like there are people that make like shit fucking resin keycaps, and there are people that make great ones.
Yeah,
like,
I'm terrible at multi-shotting. I don't know if people will see. I'm just bad. It's not gonna focus now. It's not gonna focus. Well, I'm just bad. It's a small seal. I made a small seal for. It's not gonna show. It's not gonna show. Well, never mind, guys. It's a small seal, okay? And I didn't do the. How do you call this? Like the mustache part of the seal.
Is it the whiskers?
Yeah, the
Oh,
whiskers. Yeah, the whiskers. Like I didn't do it properly, so one part it's missing basically, but it is what it is.
But like, so like I paint miniatures, and I know myself that there is no way I would be able to remotely paint the keycap without it taking like 12 hours. Like it's just
yeah.
Like I'm a pretty slow painter, and I'm also a very perfectionist painter. So like, I mean, like the picture I sent you earlier, that's like 70 hours of painting. No, like spread over like spread over like 2-3 months.
That's
so like there's no there's, so there so that's why
how long do you took to finish a dread in time, the first dread?
Oh no, the first one.
Yeah, how long do you took to finish a sculpting? Like to this is ready to cast it and ready to sell.
I mean, like dread kind of been through a lot of like slight revisions over like over the months, but like the initial sculpt I probably took like, I don't know, like a month and a half, maybe 2 months to do, because like the main issue with dread was, well, first of all, whenever I sculpt something, and I don't know if other people do that with clay, but everything I sculpt is not straight. Like and if you look at a dread, like people in chat can
one
that owns dread, you can see his face is kind of leaning to one side,
to the left side, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think it leans to the left. Yeah.
Like
I think, I mean, like I turned it into like a feature that he kind of looks to the side, kind of thing, but like
it's a feature, mostly, guys. It's on purpose.
Yeah, it was definitely on purpose.
I mean, like that's something that I fight with. I'm like, I try to make symmetry, but I'm like, yep, I just can't. Symmetry is too hard. At least in person, it's just with maybe it's me. My hands suck. So symmetry, it's too hard to do. Okay, just I don't do it. Yeah. I like my first sculpt that I was planning on doing. It's a small hippo. Okay, and I was happy with it till I started noticing like the cheeks weren't very similar. One was of course bigger than the other one. I just can't see it. But like I was like I made terms with it. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's hard to do symmetry, and like for example the seal, I think this is one of the good ones. It has
one thing
one eye it's bigger than the other one, of course, like real life, right? But I'm like, it's fine.
But like Kizan said something that's very true. Like perfect symmetry doesn't exist in the real world. So like something that's perfectly symmetrical just kind of looks weird. It looks off,
I guess. Yeah.
Like, but for me it was more like it like dread has a clear slant, and I've rectified it. Like it was way worse the initial casts, and then I've slightly readjusted it. Like dread is due for a V2. Like I've had things that I wanted to.
I mean, wouldn't you argue that Takeover it's Dread to be too, or even Alter Ego?
No, no. So basically, they're all an evolution, right? So like the story goes that Dread wakes up like in a dumpster, probably fucking high on acid. His eyes bleeding. He sees like the wormhole on the walls. Goes through it because he's like, I mean, he's not there, right? And then when he goes through the wormhole, he starts transforming, right? So like there's like a evil within him that starts to take over. Basically, that's altered ego. So like altered ego is like the middle stage, right? Of like the story, and then takeover is like the final stage, basically. Like so it's dread that becomes altered ego that becomes takeover. So, but I'd like to do. I've been meaning to make dread more like the sticker that Crash design with my ideas. So like, because the idea behind Dread, right, is that the guy wakes up in a dumpster and his head is stuck inside of a garbage bag, and he's pulling so hard on the garbage bag that it makes his eyes bleed.
I mean,
Basically.
in that case, wouldn't you make it a bit, maybe a couple of more like human factions? Because right now, if I see it, I will permanently, I wouldn't think it was a human, right? Maybe give it like a couple of human factions. Maybe?
Well, the idea would be to add the hands to the side to make it look like it's actually pulling on something over his face. That's something I've been meaning to do, but then I kind of don't want to make it look like an observer. So I'm still playing with concepts so that it doesn't change too much the original sculpt idea. But
Step Dread.
Like
Step Dread, can you help? Can you? I'm stuck. Oh no! Oh no! Oh God.
Step Dread.
Yeah, like Step Bro. Can you help me? I'm stuck.
No, I don't.
It's like
I don't know that.
It's like a form reference. Like the Step Bro is stuck, right? Like the Step Sister is stuck, and he's asking for help. She's asking for help. You know.
Okay.
You know. I don't.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He's missing critical information. Oh no!
Not one of us.
Don't look it up.
Not one of us. Okay, hold on. Step. What is the meme that I need to look up?
It's a Step Bro. It should pop up. Meme. Step Bro.
Step Bro meme. It's the fucking TikTok meme.
No, not really. Oh no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Oh, okay, it's a porn thing. Right?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Only TikTok.
Only TikTok. I mean, I'm sure there are probably some TikTok.
Oh god. Make sure you see incognito.
Incognito. Too late.
Too late.
So you also don't know those stepsis, casting couches, and all the sweet stuff. No.
No, it's like no. Okay, guys, let's move on.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I'm feeling enlightened tonight.
He's going to do research tonight, boys.
Yeah, I will definitely research into that later after stream.
Oh well.
I'll let you guys know my findings over on Discord.
All right. I always like to ask this question. I think it's kind of funny. So, not funny, but it's a different take, right? Like, what's your take on Rama artisan caps, right? It's just fun to make people argue about it.
Hold on, what? Like,
what do you think of like, are Rama caps artisans?
I think some of them are cool. Like, I like the ones.
But I mean, you will consider them artisans itself, like the word artisan, right? Because the word artisan means like something that's made by hand, something that has like a certain process, right? That you are very involved throughout, right?
I mean, like, yeah, I'd still consider them artisan in a way. Like, maybe, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of consider them like to me it's like it's sort of in the same boat as no I'm gonna get flamed if I say that. Ignore anything that I was about to say. You guys don't know. It's gonna stay in my head.
Oh no! Is DreadKeys keeping Rama artisans?
No, but I mean like their CNC like in a way at some point there's a human with a certain skill set that needed to be involved in the thing to make them what they are today, and so that to me I think it still counts as artisan. Now if you want to get into more of the if you want to get more into like the quality, I think solvent caps are like way better than Rama, but like that's a preference thing. Like Salvin, like I'm not entirely sure what he does with like the laser etching and like everything, but like some of them they look fucking sick. I don't own any of them myself, but like from the picture they look pretty cool.
Okay. Shots fired.
And for Rama, I actually really like the wave. Is it the wave? Rama,
No, that's a talk.
wave
That's a talk.
artisan.
It's different. It's a talk.
No,
It's a talk
There's
artisan.
no, it's the wave. There's a wave. It's the one that has like the little like the lines in it. I think they released it with the thermal. That one I thought was really cool. Like just for the actual texture of it and
Oh,
stuff.
Link. Oh, it's a NK collab. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those were dope. Like I like those a lot actually. So like I don't know, like I like nice stuff in general. Like design is design. Everything is just a different medium. Like I don't go into like elitism of like this should be only like resin casted and this should be only like and like sculpted and whatever. Like if you make something from your mind and you make it out of metal, then you make it out of metal. If you make it out of resin, then you make it out of resin. If you 3D print it and and you paint it, then you 3D print it and you paint it. Like in a way, at some point, it was like there has been like a human involved into the like the creation process of the thing, and so to me, like, I mean, like, agree with me or not, it doesn't really matter, really, does it? But like,
No.
but like, it's all sort of related, you know, like just the same way as like making keycaps and cooking is a very similar like creative process in a way, you know. It's a different medium, but it's very similar.
Do you want to talk a bit more, like how is like preparing different meals, like you know, chef making, you know, new recipes? I think we talked a bit about it, like before the stream.
I mean, we touched a bit on it before stream actually.
Yeah, like
well,
like can you explain like how like new recipes or like new techniques are being used instead of, you know, what you mentioned?
Well, I mean, I think what I was saying earlier was I don't, unless you're like the guy pioneering like the craft, like let's say for cooking, arguably like René Redzepi at Noma and his team are probably at the top of the food chain as it comes when it comes to like actual like proper chefs. Like it's Noma is more of a laboratory than it is like a restaurant nowadays. Like these guys are really taking like the entire craft to like another level. But then for the regular chef, you know, you don't invent anything anymore. Like cooking has been there for so long, so many things that have been done. It's more about finding a way to incorporate your personal touch, your personal you know, like for me when I was cooking, I did like I did a lot of fine dining for a long time, and then my last 4 years as a chef, I kind of got sick of the fine dining scene and like everything needing to be like so like perfect and neat all the time, and it just for me it kind of took away the fun out of things, and I focused more on actually making things that people could actually fucking relate to, you know, like because you know, like I'm a chef, I go to a fine dining restaurant, like sometimes the dishes, you know, when you taste somebody that's experimenting, when you taste like food that's made by someone that's experimenting, like sometimes like it sounds like it's gonna sound like super fucking like pretentious to say that, but like some people cannot like understand really what they're tasting, and it's nothing like it's not about pretension. It's just, you know, it's like everything, you know, like you sort of need to have a certain like knowledge of cooking to start appreciating something that's not necessarily perfect, but that you can see is sort of groundbreaking in a way. But then like what kind of fucking experience is that? Like to me, food needs to be fun, you know, like I want to go to the restaurant, I want to have fun. I want to eat something that's good. I don't want to be there sitting asking my wife like, oh, this is interesting, but like, the fuck, like it's interesting. Like, food's supposed to be good, not interesting, right?
Okay.
So my last few years as a chef was that. So instead of doing straight up like fine dining, what I would try to do is use my experience in fine dining, like the technique and everything, you know, like making sure everything is fucking top notch, but use this to make what I call like what is for me how to say comfort food in a way. Like I call my style like stepped up comfort food, basically. Like that's what I used to do. So I would take like, because like it's such a different journey when you bring someone through a lot of emotions when you eat, you know, like you eat something, right, that is like considered comfort food for you. Like I don't know for Peru, like in Peru what might be a dish on top of my head that would be considered comfort food, but let's say for us like a Canadian, you know, we have a thing we call vol au vent. A vol au vent, French Canadian, is basically puff pastry filled with like gravy and chicken and peas and carrots and whatnot, and it's the kind of shit that your mom make you like on a Monday night dinner.
Okay.
And it's like super comforting, but like then you go to a restaurant and you
see the same dish.
It's similar to like a chicken pot pie, I would say. Yeah, yeah. It's just that the pot pie is like you have like the filling in a pot and then you have the crust on top. Basically, like a vol au vent is like the pot is the fucking pastry and then you put the filling inside. But like,
interesting.
But you know, like so you have this, but you go to a restaurant. And that's the kind of stuff I would do, you know? So I would make a fucking pot pie, but I would make it the best that I could personally do. And that brings out so much more emotions in the people that are eating, you know, because you're not just eating something that's good, you're eating something that's reminding you of, you know, good times, emotions, things that you felt before. You know, and
so,
yeah.
How do you think those? No, it's okay. So how do you think, like, because you're talking about more like kitchen in a more like formulated way, right? Like you're like, okay, you follow this recipe, you need to do this and that to make it the way it's supposed to be, right? How do you think that translates to like making artisans, right?
I mean, I'm the same fucking mess in the kitchen, like, any of my sous chef former sous chef would attest to that. I'm like, I'm best described as a creative tornado. I notoriously create a fuck ton of dishes. I usually, when I was working in the restaurants, I would change my menu every week.
Oh, I mean,
so I've probably over the last 5 years created over 600-700 dishes easy, and like I'm a gigantic mess. Like I freestyle a lot, so
okay.
Oh God, so I know like I know what tastes good kind of thing, and I very rarely plan ahead what I make. Okay. And I'm kind of the same with artisan. Like I was supposed to do GMK Igan Bana this week, actually red and black. But I don't know, I wasn't inspired this week. Everything I tried I wasn't happy with, and I started messing around with copper, which was supposed to be next week.
That took me by surprise.
And basically like everything that I did with copper I liked, you know, they turned out good, or I had to just like slightly refine an idea that I've had. So I'm kind of the same way. I usually try to have a plan, but I don't really. So my creative process is very similar with artisan. I throw things, like I mix my colors and then I start just like playing with it until I find something that makes sense. That's good, I guess. I mean objectively good, obviously, like good for me, which was the same thing with food. And then I mean, playing with layers, with textures, with like you can't play with textures like with food, right? You know, like
Right.
with because with food you can go with like soft, crispy,
Crispy
crunchy,
crunch.
then you can go like hot, cold, and raw, cooked, whatever. You know, like all in the same place, and that in itself creates like something like an experience in and out of itself. But what I find interesting though is that with artisan you can play with depth with like clear and then marble and like marbled some opaque color to some clear and then hide them under a layer of like cold cast and whatever, and like without being exactly the same, it's the same sort of thought process. Like, how can I make this very, I mean, objectively boring looking sculpt in a way interesting to look at, you know? Because dread, in a sense, if I do a single shot of
simple.
dread, if I do a single shot of dread with like nothing, fuck, like, I mean, it's like I'd be bored out of my mind. Like,
yeah, I mean,
if I did that. So it's the creative process that goes behind how to make something that's so basic look complex, you know?
I really like the idea you're giving right now. Like, it's something that I would like to try it out. It's just like for example, right? Like, because I'm doing like, let's say like I'm doing this like a seal, right? So then I'm like, okay, so what are common patterns? Like what are common way that a seal looks like, right? So it has dots here and there. The nose looks this way. So I'm thinking like how to make it look like a seal rather than trying to give it like like a different look that you were saying right now, right? It's something that I didn't actually thought about. Just making it look cool, right? You know, pretty insightful, honestly. That's,
I mean, like that's usually what I tell everybody that comes to me. Like, experiment. Like, there's no like there's really like no workaround any of this. Like, you just like try stuff. You know, like, people are too scared of failing. Like, people think that like I don't fail, that like everything I mean, there are some guys in here that I talk to every day, like Winkeys, Tex, Lucas. Like, they know sometime before a sale I'll be sending like early prototype, and they'll be like, "Oh, that looks great," and I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of think it looks like dog shit." And then I'll redo it like 5 fucking time until I get to something that I actually like. Yeah, and then that's what you guys see. You know?
I mean, it's just, I think, for people and for me, let's say, right? It's like the fact of moving on to the next thing. I'm like letting go of the failure that you just made, right? Like, for example, like I was stuck with my first sculpt. I was like, dude, this looks amazing. I'm like, I love this. But the more I work in it, the more like,
yeah, you hate it.
Yeah, the more I hated it. Like, I got so bored out of it. Like, of trying to make it perfect, right? I just got so bored of it. I'm like, I just can't.
Well, I think the main thing is to accept imperfections. It's just one thing, and I mean, like, I'm not a good example because I'm like an eternal like perfectionist. So like, but it's just... the important thing is, if you fail and learn nothing, then you're not failing properly.
Right.
Like, you should be learning something of every failure. If there's something that you tried and didn't work out, well, I mean, sometimes it's not because it's bad. Sometimes it's just because that technique was not adapted to whatever you were trying to do that day. Like, no, man.
Imagine being a failure at failing. This guy, fuck you, Mick, with love, but...
Imagine being a failure at failing. Yeah, I mean, like, you can fail at failing. Like,
it's just letting go. I think for me, it's failing.
You can fail the wrong way. Like, but like, from everything that doesn't work, you need to be able to take away.
I'm trying my best.
Like, you need to take away like something.
I mean, I learned a lot of it. Like sculpting wise, that was my first sculpt. I just because I thought the idea was good, I got so focused into it. But like letting it go, I took like a week off basically of just sculpting everything, and then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna try something else. You know, it's just.
Well, that's something that I was gonna actually like start talking about. That's one of the reason why I have like so many like creative hobbies. And that first started with like with cooking. And like one of the way I find to like go get past like writer's block is usually by challenging myself creatively, but with different mediums. That's why I paint. That's why that's why I do photography. That's why I do woodworking. Now sculpting, resin, the keycaps, and everything. You know, like whenever you you involve yourself in a creative process that's different than the one that you're doing on the day to day, or that at least you're actively trying to improve. Because when you hit a wall, you know, I mean, like, sure, some people will probably just like keep grinding through the same wall and everything, but I find that just like when I used to have no ideas on what to cook, I would go like fucking shoot architecture and like street photography and people and just like random stuff, and usually just from those adventures I would come away with some ideas. You know, sometimes it's just a smell that you have while walking around the city, then you're like, oh shit, like that gives me an idea for this. Sometimes it's a scene, sometimes it's just like shapes and whatnot that give you an idea for a plating that then goes on into a dish. And it's kind of the same with caps in a way, you know, like
yes, I can see the connection. I can totally see the connection with it. Yeah.
And also like
nice.
Tex just said, but like sharing your failure too. Like a lot of people hide.
It's just like I agree.
Hide their failures.
It's something that I'm not capable of doing. Like it's so hard for me. Like for example, like, you know, like I wanted to take picture of the hippo when I was like the whole process to Instagram, like to try to document it. But the more I'm like yeah, what about next day when I improve it? And I just never did it. And I haven't put a single picture of any of my work in Instagram, or like I have shared it like on my private Discord and in like Cbat, but like people outside of that, they don't know that it exists, you know? Yeah. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, failure kind of... I'm not like the best example at that. Like, I usually share my failure with like more
two
like
people.
close.
Yeah.
No, more than two people, but like more to like my closer circle of people. But like, I mean, but it doesn't mean like nothing fails. Like, I mean, do I have any example? Oh, let's see. Okay, I'll show you guys something actually. So,
are you gonna turn on your camera or take a picture?
No, I'm not gonna show my face. But like, I'll take a picture and I'll show you.
Okay,
and I'll show you guys.
I can show it.
I'll show you guys what I was working on for Egan Bana, and I mean, objectively, I think it's fucking shit. But like, whatever, you guys let me know. Hold on, you can see. So, right. So how's it called? Like so from my research, the Egan Bana flower was like honestly
show it.
It's like they call it like the red spider or something. So okay. Like I was like, okay, like I'm gonna like resin write like a spider on the fucking cap and it's gonna look sick, and I started making these dots and whatnot, and it just makes no freaking sense. And like, I was like, what is this nonsense?
What is this?
And then, yeah, what is this? So this is the reason why like Egan Bana was not released this week.
Okay.
Like, to me, objectively, it's... Yeah, I fucking like every time I show something that I don't like, people say that's hot. But like,
that's hot, yeah.
Like
I mean, you want my, I don't know, you're not taking my criticism, right? I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
I don't know.
That's me.
I don't really like it. That's why I didn't release it. So
Yeah.
so I have already thought about like other like ways to incorporate the the spider,
Hmm.
but like side note
I
invoices are
think
out.
maybe. Wait, what?
No, it's this
Oh no.
archetype.
Okay, Meg, I'm about to check my email. Meg, I'm watching you.
No man, I think the concept is good. The execution is sloppy. Basically, is how I see it, and it's fine. You know, like it's part of the process. Like I was not happy with it. Therefore, I will not release it that way. Like, I don't have an issue showing it, but like one thing that is for sure is that when I release my Iganbana collaboration,
Hmm.
it will look a lot better. Like I mean, I can show you also. Like I'll show you guys more.
Okay.
Like
Let's see.
the the initial. These were my initial.
Oh, I didn't show the takeover. Can I show the takeover? I'm sorry. Not takeover. Oh god.
The insert. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
show the
yeah.
insert. And then like the next picture I'm sending you were my initial prototype for copper. So you can that's what goes inside of the.
I have the name. Alter Ego. Yes. Honestly, the Alter Ego without the filling looks pretty sick.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
We need a cell without the resin.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do something with it eventually.
Oh,
like,
these are nice. Like it's just the colorway. I think the colorway is very easy. The copper colorway is very easy.
Yeah, copper is easy, but if you come so you can already see what I had in mind, but that was like the first try. So I saw this and I was like, okay, they look good, but they can look so much better.
Yeah, this looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, but arguably the ones are up
for
sale.
The one that you're
look like 100 times better than that.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I agree. But like, this is a good step. Like, this is a good step towards this.
But it was a good start. Basically, is what I mean.
I agree.
Oh,
I'm so sad.
So, yeah.
I lost.
Things don't just like randomly come to me. Like I do experiment a lot with everything. That might be a good time to also say that I'm gonna give away a raffle spot for the GMK Copper sale on Monday.
Do you wanna explain how? Do you wanna explain how your raffle sale, like what they're winning? Yeah.
All right. So I mean, go on my website, DreadKeys.com. Just click the link. Yes. Then you can go into shop. Top right. Yes. All right. So here are the offerings for. They're right there. All. Yes. So I'm doing a sort of different. It's slightly different than what I usually do. So like normally, right? You guys everybody. Like I roll all my sculpts separately.
Mm-hmm.
This is still the way we're gonna do it this week, but the variation that you will get will be random. So it's like a half blind bag kind of thing. So you can enter so you can enter for just takeover if you want, but then there's no guarantee which one of the three you will get, basically. So to go along with this. Okay. To go along with this, basically what I'm giving away is like a straight up blind spot. So like the winner will get like I'll mix all of them up and I'll take a box and I'll put it in the packaging and we shall see what that person gets. Basically.
Nice. Let's go. I thought you meant like between all of it, like the different sculpts.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
I think that's
Right,
more
like that.
unfair. I think people will be like, I think that's more harder. Like, do people suffer, you know?
I mean, objectively, like I think, like I'd personally be happy with any of these. I think they all look
Yeah. They
freaking
look
sick. Like
amazing. I
like
love the dots. The dots
the
one?
worm the wormholes actually look really fucking good.
This one.
Like
That's the one that's solid without the dots. Oof.
yeah,
So good. I like the dots version of the of the takeover and dread. Pretty good job. I'm
so
ready for my
like
L.
so one of them is just marbling with mica powders and stuff. Then the one with like all the dots and stuff is like patina, like cold cast, and then the other one obviously is like half and half. So it's like half cold cast, half marbled,
Mhm.
which personally is my favorite.
Yeah, I think your pictures are getting way better.
These ones were I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I definitely stole the shooting on top of glass from Dutch. That was like an eye-opening thing. Also, I tried to play like to do the backdrop like it would be food, basically
Yeah.
with this colorway, and I think it turned out super cool. So
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be
More
returning,
recurring?
recurring style, at least for a while until I figure out something else.
How do you make the? Oh, they're on a glass, right? That's why they look like
Yeah.
they were flying.
Yeah, they're on glass.
I've hit. All right. Okay, so the way that I do the giveaways is just like, I like people to suffer. I know you mentioned that you consider yourself a masochist. So, this is for you basically. So basically that I do is like there's 3 losers and the 4th one actually wins. Okay. So so people can actually suffer. So they actually don't want to win the first 3 times, right? That's more fun. So good. All right. So because you're the guest, you can pick the word for today. Dread?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading a Discord message. I completely zoned out. I have no idea. What's the word?
Yes, you need to pick a word.
Let's do I don't know, like let's do heavy metal. That's on brand, I guess.
Heavy metal? Yes, heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Yeah, keyword heavy metal.
Imagine knowing how to spell heavy metal. All right, like this, right?
Yeah. Let's do one word. It's gonna be easier to write. Right? It needs to be one word anyway,
yes.
Right? And not no space.
Yeah. All right,
okay,
guys. The word is heavy metal. I'm gonna put here my clock. So it's 10:50. It's basically 10:01. So 10. How much time do you wanna give people to enter the giveaway?
Let me ping my Discord first. Give these people a chance.
Oh, no, don't make them come. That's cheating.
I give away my rules.
That's actually true. All right. I
need to give them the links too, right?
Yes.
There you go. Giveaway. Let's see how many people show up. Let's give them like, I don't know, like 5 minutes, I guess.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Is,
all right.
Is 5 minutes good? Is it too short?
Yeah. I usually do 2-3 minutes. But
all right.
So while we wait, I'm gonna ask you the last question for the interview. Okay. Wait, let me pull up my questions. Now I remember. Give me a second. Thank you for the follow. Well, I have 2 questions. You know what? Let's do the meme question, and then I ask you the last question after the giveaway. Okay. All right. Do artisans, in your opinion, belong on the keyboard or an artisan case?
I mean, It's a fucking keycap. Just put it on your board. Like, what? I don't get it. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, like, it's your money. You do whatever the fuck you want with it. You want to put it in a case, put it in a case. But like, I'd put it on a fucking keyboard.
But I mean, like, if you have so many, right? Like, wouldn't you want to display it?
Get more keyboards. What can I say? Like, if you have so many artisans, you clearly have the means to buy more keyboards, right?
Right, I guess. But that's the wrong answer, Dread. Dread, you're supposed to say that's the wrong answer, Dread. God damn it, Dread. You know what?
Just get more.
Just get more keyboards, guys.
Get some macro pads like from my boy DreadKeys. Shameless plug. I don't even think he's fucking selling anything right now.
Shake my head, bro. I trusted you, Dread. I trusted you. You had one job. One job.
I mean, like, you can put it in the box if you want. Like, I don't.
You know what's funny about this? Because when I ask,
does it really matter?
No, it doesn't. But it's just I think it's funny that people argue about that. Like you know how to ask. I interviewed Meg a while ago, and you know he has to say case because
what did he say?
He said case because he has to say case because he's selling a case, right? He has a Chronos.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
so if he doesn't say case,
he's shitting for it. Just make a board, Meg, already. What are you doing?
Exactly, just make a war so then you can defend yourself.
my keyboard budget. Yeah, well, I mean, text. Your collection is like on another level. It's
yeah, I mean, text doesn't count. Text doesn't enter here. Yeah,
like,
he's not part of it. Yeah,
I mean,
he has
like,
too many artisans.
Text, like, literally, what you should do is like fucking have a picture frame filled with like thousands of switches and just like fucking mount them all on the wall. That's what you should do.
Yeah. He has too many cups, man. Yes.
That's what I do.
No.
Personally.
You don't
I was actually thinking about like doing like a picture frame B-Stuck thing.
So
I think was it GSK? I think GSK actually did that like with all of their like B-Stuck or something. They frame all the keycaps and put resin in it or something.
CYSM.
Yeah, they might. The Kibi might have done it too. I thought it was a super cool idea, like kind of a neat way for people to maybe get like basically an entire collection, but without affecting the resale value of the actual market. Like I thought it was cool. That's also like the kind of thing that you can do for like charity or whatever. Like an auction for charity can be cool. I don't know. Maybe one day.
Make it big. What? More big what? Oh, right. The 5 minutes. I think there's 2 more minutes.
I don't know. You told me you had 2 questions. We done 1, so let's do the second.
Oh yeah, the other question is more serious, so I'll prefer to do that afterwards. It's
more
just
serious than case versus keyboard.
Of course, that's more like a meme.
What can be more serious than that?
I just love asking that question. Like some people are very into it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give it 1 more minute then. So 10:07, and then we roll it. So for the people who are just entering by the ping, the way this works, or the way I like to do it, it's like I like people suffering. Therefore, there's gonna be 3 losers, and the 4th actually wins. So we're gonna roll 3 times. Okay.
Oh, sadistic. That's nice.
Yes. Well, they answered the questions correctly, so it's all good. No, no, you're wrong.
Get more keyboards.
Oh,
it's the answers to everything. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for the hole in your bank accounts, though.
All right, 10 seconds. Why you know marbles? I don't like marbles. It's just not fun. To me, marbles is not that fun. I personally don't like marbles.
I've done too many marble giveaway lately. I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of marbles. You know, here I have more controls of people suffering than on marbles. You know, yeah, that's cool. But if you guys want me to marble, then sure, I can try marble next time. Maybe you can make another giveaway here. If you want me to try marbles.
This one would be fine. I've been giving away like way too many caps lately. Like I don't know. I've done so much giveaways, like in the last like month and a half, 2 months. Like it's at this point, it's probably like almost one a week.
Thank you for all the follows, boys.
Also, like giveaways open like to international. Like I don't restrict anything, like any region or anything. Like I'll ship it whether you're in Singapore or whether you're in the States.
That's pretty nice.
It does not matter to me, really.
Also, Mick, I'm very sad.
You win.
Also, Mick, you broke my heart again. Anyways, all right, let's roll it. The first loser of tonight. It's
the first loser is
because I didn't win the raffle, Mick. Fuck you. With love, of course. All right, the first loser is Stoke. Congrats, Stoke.
You win the losing.
Congrats on first losing.
That's so bad. I love
I'm sorry. It just feels nice, you know, to tell people they lose. It's just that's how I take out all my L's, all my artisans L's, you know.
Yeah, that's cruel. All right, let's hit it.
All right, the second loser of the night.
Sadistic confirmed.
Yes, the second loser of tonight is. No, please see it. No. Oh God, she was my ticket. I mean, it's my fiance. Oh, I can't believe
not
it.
Rigged.
Oh, not rigged. Oh. Actually, not rigged.
Actually not rigged.
Oh my God, she was my ticket. God damn it. Oh,
hit it again.
The third loser is none other than Batudarina. No, I'm sorry, Batudarina. He's such a nice dude. I'm sorry, Bato.
Alright, who's actually winning? Check it out. It's gonna be me.
His other fiance. Yes. Yes. Actually, true. I mean, no. All right. The actually winner of tonight is. Oh
my God! Just click already.
It's Fire. Oh God, he's not even following. Oh no. Oh no. What should we do? Shake my head. Shaking my head. Reroll? Should we reroll it?
I mean, I don't care.
I mean, up to you. You're making the
I mean, like, usually people have people follow. So, like, I don't know what's the rule if you follow after or like I don't know.
Reroll. Okay, let people decide. Let's make him suffer at least. Can we make him suffer for a bit? I'm gonna make a voting thingy. just to make him suffer.
I will not be responsible for this decision. Is what I'm gonna say. Oh, there you go. He's following now. Like.
All right.
I have also.
He said he will accept the reroll.
Like also I mean I don't know. I don't think we specified it was a follower only giveaway. So
that's true. I mean it's fine. All right, it's Firewar. It's fine. Don't worry. You actually win. Send me your information. No follow reroll. Nah, it's okay. It's too evil. I think that's too evil of me.
I mean, I think it's Firewire. You have my Discord, I think, right? Or you're in my Discord. If yes, just like reach out to me. It'll be easier.
Oh yeah, you just reach out to Dread then. Easy.
And then maybe I send an empty box. Who knows?
Yes. I mean, no. I hope you don't. Do
what?
that,
No. What?
What?
Empty box.
You weren't
What?
muted.
What? Did I say this out loud? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
re-roll it just to see who actually would have won. Okay, Croak the Snope. Okay,
I would
well,
have been Croup.
yeah.
Croup,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Croak.
Yo, Croup, by the way,
Oh, Croak.
super pictures for the monochrome. Like the Dread monochrome. They fucking looked so sick.
Oh, he took the pictures. Oh, nice. He took some
Yeah.
pictures. Oh.
Right? Unless am I saying
Wrecked.
nonsense?
All right.
I don't think I am.
All right.
I think I'm right. Can I have a mono wormhole instead? I don't have any. I actually like the mono wormhole is actually one of the ones that I don't even have extras for myself.
Just make
Believe-
more. He would like
believe
he-
it
he
or
would
not.
just make more. All right. Okay, so
Anyway, like Firewire, just like reach out to me. We'll
Perfect.
figure shit out.
let's go. All right. All right. So the last question to end the interview, right? It's how would you like to be remembered if you ever, I don't know, stop casting for some reason?
Hold on, what would I do if I ever stopped casting? Yeah.
Yeah, like no. How would you like to be remembered if you were to ever stop casting? Like the mark you have left behind, right? What's something that you will have the impact left on the hobby?
It's kind of funny. I don't know. Honestly, I have never actually thought about that. I hope that I will have inspired people to pick up like to start making basically. Like I think that's what would be the most important to me. Like I don't necessarily want to go into like, oh, like I'd like this sculpt to be remembered forever. Like not really, but I actually like really care about when people come to me and like tell me, because I mean it doesn't happen often, but I've had a couple of people telling me like that I inspired them to start making keycaps and stuff, and like that for me is really what it's about. So if I can be remembered for something, I think that would be what I would like to, like that I've inspired like other people to
start
to start and take the plunge, and just to fucking like make stuff, you know, like making stuff is fun, like it's nice, and it's not because it's difficult in the beginning, you know, like if it's tough and you keep grinding, you know, like you'll inevitably you'll get better. Like if you exercise, like if you practice with purpose, you know, like practicing with purpose is like the thing that's most important. Practicing for the sake of practicing usually brings you no result, but if you practice with like when you practice with a purpose, you know, like of getting better, you know, at something, then eventually you'll get better. And you know, like embrace your style, embrace your flaws and what you're good and what you're bad at, you know, like, and just roll with it, basically, is what I would say to people. Yep.
That's very nice. All right. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of, I guess some makers do hope to make more people actually get into sculpting and casting. I personally got into it basically because, you know, after interviewing like a couple of makers and interviewing tech, I was like, dude, I might just take the initial hit, and, you know, give it a go. Why not? You know, and like,
it's fun, and it's the important thing is to remember to do it, like to do it for yourself, and do it for fun. And then, like, too many people get into like creative hobbies wanting to be like the shit, you know, like to be the next hot shit, and like that usually doesn't yield anything. It usually like brings you to like disappointment, really. It's like,
Right.
let's be real, it's a tough hobby.
It's
I
a-
consider myself extremely lucky to be where I am right now. Like, but when I started, I definitely was not planning on quitting my career to start like making keycaps full time. It just kind of happened over time. Then one day I was like, "Oh, I can actually do this like for real." And then I swapped. Like, do it for fun. Things it needs to be fun first and foremost. Is what I think.
All right. All right then. Any last words to say goodbye this stream?
Honestly, that was fun. Like, I'm not sure how long the interview was supposed to be. But I'm pretty sure we.
I mean, I honestly don't put a
over
light
the 1
limit.
hour.
No, they are usually between 1:30 and 2 hours. I mean, the text went, I think, almost 3 hours. I mean, I don't put a time limit. If it flows, it flows. You know.
All right,
so-
nice, sick. No, it was fun. Thank you for everybody for coming. I mean, like, thank you for the continuous support. Obviously, merci beaucoup. And I mean, we'll be dropping Copper this Monday, 8 o'clock on the website. I think they look pretty fucking cool. So
I agree.
see you
Please check them
then, and on my Discord, obviously.
Yes.
Join my Discord for sales ping.
Yes.
And like, you know, like if you're just like remotely even like interested, you know, in making keycap, just fucking join the Zbot Discord. It's great. Like, it's amazing. Can we link the Zbot?
Yes.
Like the Zbot invite link?
Yes. I might have it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Like that'd be sick. Like if there's so many great people there. Like
I don't have it. Can someone link it? Because I don't
Angel.
think I can
I'm sure Dex can.
Okay, here. That's link, boys.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you, Dread, for coming, and I will see you when my next stream, I guess. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Right. I forgot about the rate. Give me a second. I'm so bad at you guys. You see, guys, I'm terrible at streaming. Okay, I need to do the rate. Who is streaming right now? I'm a terrible streamer. Thank you for the reminder, Voodoo. Who can we rate? Oh, Lang! I love rating Lang. He's such a fun guy. I love Lang. I'm gonna rate Lang. Lang. Alright, the rate has started. Alright, boys. Can we put red is good? That's all I want. Can we let him know that red is good? That's all I'm happy with. Alright, guys. Take care so much. Thank you for coming, as usual. And hopefully we can have more Resin talk again. Alright, boys. Take care. Bye-bye.